Hello, and we are back. Guess what, guys? We're having Taka.
We had a sleepover for 1 week.
Double the Taka.
1 week and wearing the same clothes. Huh?
Yes. Sekarang puasa.
We still smell good though.
Yeah, man. It's like
Yeah.
smelling ourselves all good. So, Taka,
Yes.
how are you since our last recording?
I've been good.
Semua okay. Puasa seminggu lagi. Okay, anyway, speaking about Ramadan kan, how's your Ramadan so far?
My Ramadan has been insanely intense because I decided to put myself in a challenge of writing a song almost every day.
Wow.
I was planning on doing it every day, but then I think sleep is just too enticing.
Sleep is calling you.
The bed is calling me. So macam sayang. But also macam I think that my sleep cycle also is suffering because of the songwriting sessions. But yeah, I've been trying to write almost every other day.
So when you say write, does it mean that finish producing one song one day?
Yeah. So my plan was actually to finish. Last year I started this project called Project 25, which is to write about one prophet each day.
Wow.
So macam tahun lepas sampai
Nabi Muhammad?
Sampai jangan Nabi Muhammad. Sampai Ibrahim je. So like only 6 songs. Nabi Muhammad kira dah habis. So only 6 songs. So I decided okay tahun ni kena habiskan lah. So
so you akan sambung from the 25 Rasul tu?
Yeah.
Or completely new?
No. I'm continuing. Sayang lah nak start baru. So yeah, I'm planning on just like continuing until 25 lah. Probably I will go well into Raya, but at least it's something that I'm aiming for this year gitu.
So Raya pun ada.
Raya
Kita
pun
kan
ada
Raya
kan?
sebulan.
Tak boleh lagi mana kan. Might as well.
So 60 songs from Taka.
No.
You first heard it here, okay? Ladies and gentlemen.
Selang sehari. No. Okay, so tu lah. Oh my goodness.
Nabila, how's your Ramadan so far? Penat nampak tu. Penat. You tahu berapa event.
But like what Taka say lah, rest, I mean like the sleep, the bed is always nice. Sebab sekarang ni I kena buat masters, like kebetulan ada berapa banyak assignments datang coming in. So I'm like and work. Yeah, but then other than failing in not cursing during puasa, I think I'm doing fairly well.
What masters are you doing?
Sustainability science.
Kat
UM.
So they have to go like physical or online?
Online class.
Oh,
Zero belum buka kan.
So dia pacak pukul 6 tepat, memang dia bye-bye. Sayonara Nabila, dia dekat tempat duduk dia terus in class.
Oh ya. 6 petang malam. 6 petang malam.
Taka, okay tak tahulah puasa.
6 petang malam ke 6 petang pagi?
Petang malam.
So sekejap lagi lah. Every day.
For this semester is like Monday to Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
night class
Night class.
Gila. She's juggling everything. She's juggling the assignments, the work. I don't know how you do it, man. I
That's
keep
insane.
saying it.
Same.
Insane. Okay. Bila Ramadan, you know how everyone has their own like mood, or I don't know, like pukul contoh macam I like pukul 3 je I dah kelakar. Faham tak? Macam dah penat sangat kan.
3 petang ke 3 pagi?
You selalu tanya soalan macam tu kan.
Pagi malam ke petang malam?
Dua-dua. Bila ada event 3 pagi. Masa ni kan tengah more semua. And then I noticed Taka has been doing a lot of live. Doing your music. Can you share more about that? Macam like do you ever feel rasa macam bila buat live tu ada orang akan judge your music ke, your process ke, or is it actually encouraging you to finish it?
I think it's sort of like public accountability that I go on live macam tak nak kau kena siapkan dalam ni. Sebab nanti ada orang yang macam like
dah siap ke belum?
Dah siap ke belum? Macam alamak. Not that I have to answer to that person, but macam you feel
That's
macam
some sense of commitment kat sana.
Yeah. So if I think that's also why I have to write these songs, and I know that if I write these songs macam on my own, macam yang takkan jalan katil sebelah bilik je. So like having that in mind macam, and also macam ada orang teman lah in a way. Malam-malam tengah bosan, and then I buat ni lah one of the stalker yang sudi menemani saya kala malam hari. It's actually nice. And I was thinking of streaming on Twitch, but because Twitch punya I haven't built my Twitch audience yet. So I just decided to go live on Instagram macam siapa yang ada join lah.
Tapi dia tak boleh connect like you know how StreamYard boleh
tak, masih tak boleh.
And I think for preparation for Insta Live is easier compared to Twitch.
Ya ke?
Why?
I've seen people doing their setup of Twitch kan. Ada banyak benda yang diorang kena prepare apa benda. Like in terms of I know for those who would like to have like a cover, like Twitch cover, I don't know what you call it lah. And then diorang akan letak countdown ke apa with their mics and everything. But Insta Live is just like you phone.
No. Have you seen my Insta Live?
No, I haven't seen.
See?
Kenapa you have all the mics?
Yeah, I have all the mics and things.
Ya Allah.
Come on.
And sometimes multicam.
Sometimes multicam, yeah.
And you have the webcam semua kan sometimes. Yeah, I saw that. I
That
saw
one
the going
time.
up and down of your emotions. Like, kenapa webcam ni tak? It's like, korang nampak tak? Dia tanya tapi dia tak baca pun komen tu. So we can see like her transition of trying to solve the tech issue all by herself. Her forgetting that she's on live.
Stress.
Lepas tu all the fans bagi tips kan. No, you should do that. Tapi tak baca macam ni.
Bila dia dah solve it, baru dia macam tengok orang.
5 minutes later.
5 minutes later. Biasa.
But it's very nice to see how everyone is managing their own. You know how macam even us as a team pun we've never done digital before. I think the digital club that we did when we had you as well, we've never done a full 100% digital, so it's like a huge learning curve for us as well. So was it like that steep of a learning curve for you as well?
In what way?
In like managing all the digital thing, or you macam dah memang pro dah?
I think I sort of learn about macam doing lives or all the digital content and whatnot.
Sorry for the
It's okay.
interference.
Things happen.
The intern tu.
Kesian dia.
Sarah, we love you. Sarah, we love you.
Kesian
Gen
dia.
Z.
Aduh. I think over the years I try to be ahead of the curve gitu, tak ada. But macam I've gotten used to creating content on my own since since having YouTube back in 2010. And when macam I don't want to say I was doing it before it was cool lah. Gitu lah.
Paving the way.
But without bragging.
The
How do I say this without brag? It's not braggy. It's just like it's the fact that I just happen to do these things before other people started doing it.
Yeah. You're in your lane. You're in your zone.
lane wah gitu.
So it's not that hard for Taka. I mean, come on.
Dia hard lah juga awal-awal tu.
I mean, buat podcast, buat mulut pun atas kata.
Sebab malas kan, kata macam kena ada set up meja lah, kena ada ni apa, this bendy arm lah.
Yeah. But isn't that the best though? Macam you just do dekat rumah.
Because it's chill.
So you macam tak banyak effort and pump. You already have a content.
Macam duduk dengan sebelah bantal, ada bantal busuk atau how are you doing today? Macam tu.
Pernah tak you and your fellow podcaster? So professional.
Fellow roommate, fellow podcaster.
Pernah tak you guys tertidur?
I usually macam already tucked in bed, and then macam dah baring and then tuck in bed and then macam macam tu je.
And then that's the key for the podcast to end.
No, it's just like the entire podcast is me like lying down and then macam kan seronok kan. Daripada kita duduk macam ni kan. Tapi kerusi korang ni best ke? Sebenarnya boleh baring.
Jangan jatuh pula.
Dia macam tu lah.
Kita boleh buat macam tu.
Jatuh.
Technician. Tolong.
Emergency. Oh, jatuh. No. Astagfirullahaladzim.
3 episod Taka.
Nanti.
Wow. Okay.
Tak apa, dah macam ni lah. Kita macam ni lah. So macam kata dia.
Okay. Kita semua ikut dia. Jom Nabila.
Bawa batal.
So kita relax.
Ada batal.
Ya doh. Okay, make yourself comfortable.
Bring
no
the
worries.
Elsa along and everything.
Yeah, kita kan baru lepas sahur semua
Make
ni.
it comfortable. Yes. Ada bau masam tak? Tak ada.
Kalau ada bau masam tu producer kita ya, dia tidur kat office. Okay, so still talking about the topic of Ramadan kan. Bila korang selesa habis Nabila. So bila Ramadan kan korang ingat tak bila kecil-kecil bangun because I remember like my first day of puasa, I was 7 years old. My first day was a torture. I menggigil. But I was so committed, I tak nak buka puasa. My parents like, buka je lah, makan je lah. Macam tak nak.
Power.
I baring like pukul 7, setengah jam tu rasa macam 3 tahun.
3 tahun?
Ya Allah ya Tuhanku, serious. I remember that one very vividly in my head. Penat menggigil semua. So how about you guys? Zaman puasa masa dulu kecil-kecil.
Power doh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apa
korang
Saya pergi toilet minum air.
Agak dah.
Kat sekolah. Ya,
Kat
curi-curi.
sekolah.
Very on brand.
Kat sekolah kat water cooler. Tak ada sorok punya. Aduh.
Astagfirullahaladzim. Anak siapa ni?
Kena check mula-mula pandang macam ni kan. Tak ada orang kan? Okay.
Kakak tak check.
Orang lalu, cikgu lalu.
You pengawas tak Taka? Berani dia lain macam. Ya, balls.
Just tahan. Just let me be.
Tak. Maksudnya yang paling best balik rumah. Penatnya.
Penat tu tak penat. Minum tu tak minum.
Minum tetap minum. So Nabila pun sama macam Taka. Minum air kat tepi.
Tapi ada macam I tengok lah dulu. Cikgu ke tak ada kat? Okay.
Wow.
Macam tu kan. Yeah.
Bagus lah korang ni. So tapi every raya orang tanya puasa 30 hari cekak-cekak.
Terus kelah.
Dapat duit raya semua. Duit haram.
Alamak.
How much do we get lah? Cannot remember.
Bayar balik kan. Tapi ada inflation so dia bertambah kan. RM1 jadi RM4.
Aduh, penat lah kalau cakap pasal current issue ni. Okay, let's not go there. Inflation.
We can.
Yeah.
How do you want it to go down? Mana-mana boleh.
I mean, okay, tak apa. Kita sembang pasal Ramadan.
Kalau tak jadi 3 episod ni kalau masuk current issue.
Tak boleh. Nanti bos dah panggil buat kerja dah lepas ni. Okay. So you guys punya schedule masa Ramadan ni macam mana? Is it any different from previously? Macam tak puasa, COVID, ada tak COVID? Ada PKP, tak ada PKP? Like what's your experience?
Okay, mine kalau this is more towards bila ada masa, tak ada masa lah. Okay. Kalau tak ada masa pula. Kalau tak ada master, tak ada
memang tak ada masa.
Kalau tak ada master, memang ada masa.
Yeah.
Kalau ada masa, memang tak ada masa.
Dia macam tongue twister lah.
Itu lah. Anyway, without the masters, I had time to go back lepas kerja, go home and buka puasa my family. But because the class is at 6 or earliest pun kalau doktor boleh buat maybe 5:30 macam tu kan. But still by the time we end is pukul 7. I nak balik pun no point kan. So I buka puasa ni producer kat sana tu.
Di jalan, pergi bazar
TTDI kan.
Walking distance Ui, bestnya.
Nak ikut, jom.
Sebenarnya
Is it time to
boleh tak kita buat podcast kat Bazar Ramadan kan? Kita buat mengejut kan? We have Taka with you. And kita macam interview seorang-seorang
bawa
kan?
mic semua.
Anyone have
review makanan.
Yeah. Like any question for Taka? Semua orang macam
bukan kenal pun siapa Mina ni.
Siapa Mina pakai tudung hijau
Ada
ni?
kisah.
Taka, you dah pernah pergi Bazar Ramadan?
Tahun ni? No. I
tak pernah
try
lagi. So
to
you tak
avoid.
try the SOP punya Ramadan belum lagi?
No. How is it?
Nabila? I pun tak pernah pergi.
Tak, they usually have like a entrance lah. They will close the exit but they will open the entrance. So orang yang nak enter and or exit, they have to still go through that same place. So macam biasa lah, you scan the code and then you scan your temperature. Lepas tu diorang akan bagi you tag. But yesterday kita tak dapat tag, we got a sticker. Tiba-tiba mak tu pak. And I'm like, okay, what difference does it make?
Stiker tu tak apa?
Sticker
so bila you keluar, you cabut balik?
Tak pun. Yeah, I mean it's
maknanya
for
dah
them to
scan.
and it's for them to keep track lah how many yang masuk
Oh, I
Although I don't know
see.
whether internally system tu berfungsi ke tak But
Okay.
anyway, yesterday wasn't that crowded.
Oh.
Yeah, yesterday
Interesting.
wasn't. Maybe sebab
Monday.
hujan geri.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's possible.
Do you ever plan to go?
Not really because I'm one too lazy, two macam
Too lazy.
too lazy, three too lazy. No, the nearest bazaar is because I live in Alam. Shh, jangan beritahu orang. Okay. Jangan beritahu orang. This is a secret. Okay. This is ASMR.
No one knows.
And the nearest bazaar is the one at the stadium, which is basically hell on earth. So
It's like the headquarter of the bazaar.
Nope, don't go there. So macam I decided to not go there. And
Tak ada yang kecil-kecil. So macam TTDI, we know ada a smaller one.
if it's small, it's too small.
Okay.
Dia macam sederit tepi jalan tu je.
It's
So is
either-
this a bazaar or is this a mini
Yeah, so
bazaar?
it's either you go big or you go home. So you go home lah. You
Yes.
decide to go home.
I don't even go anywhere. Either you go or you don't go.
Baguslah, so maknanya you masak lah.
Nope.
Food Panda.
Oh, the Food Panda.
Grab
Food Panda
food.
macam tak. Food Panda dia macam, awak can you order me some food? Okay, thank you. I want this one. My Food Panda is my husband lah.
Bagus. So dia terus datang. Bestnya.
No delivery fee charge.
delivery.
Yeah.
Dia yang tanggung.
Dia dah
Macam,
Dia yang tanggung. Go. Okay. So we know that apa ni, you and Anwar both have a podcast. What's it called?
Buah Mulut Podcast.
Kenapa buah mulut?
We also don't know. we just wanted a name for a podcast,
Yeah.
and it's better to just have like a name immediately than to think about a name for like 1 month. Macam
Yeah,
apa nak bikin nama ni? Kita tak salah Buah Mulut.
But it's so clever though. Sebab there's a meaning kan, buah mulut. It's like
Buah Mulut is apa
apa yang
cakapan
orang
orang.
cakap kan. Bawang.
Ya, boleh lah. Actually the content also sort of like membawang juga in a way.
I mean, low-key, you guys punya podcast sounds like you guys are high even though you guys are not.
Are we also advocating drugs on this episode? I thought we were over
Farah, don't go
that.
there. Farah,
Oh
don't go there.
god.
Tahun ni raya ke?
Raya ke? Raya ke?
Macam dengki ke kan?
We want to go there? Let's go there.
No, I don't want to keep my 10k. Tak nak tidur penjara.
Yeah, Raya I think because my family lives nearby also. So macam tahun lepas kita orang raya sama, so tahun ni macam raya sama juga. Because Anwar side biasa dia orang akan raya kat Kelantan. First like dia orang akan pergi Kelantan like 3 days before raya. And then raya sana first day and then second day shoot balik Kedah.
Wow.
So macam kalau apa boleh rentas negeri tahun ni, I don't think we're gonna go.
I don't think either.
Yeah.
Because macam everyone is gonna go back and it's actually macam not good for.
Do you
Because
guys-
we'll be bringing out the virus.
Yeah, true.
Macam kita ada virus.
Macam
sekarang.
zon merah ke zon ni kan, korang yang akan infect benda
Yeah.
gitu. Tak nak lah nanti keluar headline Taka.
Ha.
Keluar Taka pembawa bukan artis kayangan dah tu.
Saya nak buka carta.
Dengar tu peminat di Kelantan dan Kedah
Yeah.
akan
Chat
buka
time.
chat time ke? Chat time.
Chat time.
Bukan T-Live bukan Bata ke? Okay.
Bata Boleh ke saya buka Bata?
Dengki ke? So Taka tak buat Spotify playlist raya.
Bahayalah
Tak
korang
buat.
ni. Spotify playlist, we don't have a
Raya.
Spotify playlist Raya.
Yang 25 Rasul tu je lah.
Yang tu, actually I was planning on macam finishing the songs and then putting out an album lah. So macam terus keluar album, 25 lagu.
Yeah.
Dengar lah sampai habis.
But your songs, so far your songs semua, is it available on Spotify or
Yes.
YouTube? Oh, okay.
They're available everywhere.
Everywhere. Even Apple?
Yes.
Apple Music?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So Raya I think we're just gonna recycle our Raya song. Our as in the band. The band has released I think 2 Raya songs. I want to say 3. But it's also just 2. Yeah, it's just 2 Raya songs.
You don't know your kids, right?
Exactly. Macam mampus korang. Jumpa korang setahun sekali.
Setahun sekali datang balik, dia ketuk pintu nak masuk. Mama, time tu nyanyi. Time tu nyanyi macam Mariah Carey kan. Dia kaya bila Christmas je.
Ya tu doh. Insane.
You know. Okay. So, I mean, sebab you ada mention briefly in the previous episode. Ingat tak?
Last week.
Ingat tak? Okay, let me refresh your mind. So, you said about, paving the way for women producer.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, I can resonate to that lah in terms of having more, because I like doing behind the scene work. I've joined like several theatre production juga lah during my degree, whatever semua tu. So I do macam Sharifah Amani, like I do adore this kind of artist. She started from acting and then turned into producing and directing and all that. What is your hope? What is your hope for not just women producers, but also the music industry itself in Malaysia?
Bila dah buka music industry susah
dah
ni.
buka Pandora box.
5 episod ni.
Fikir jap.
Terus macam ni ya.
Banyak nak kena
Banyak nak
dirungkai.
kena dia nak kena potong. Kena potong. So I think my hopes and dreams gitu is to have It's really about macam to have a healthy ecosystem regardless of the industry. And because of that healthy ecosystem, it will macam encourage people regardless of any gender to join. And not just healthy ecosystem but also macam early education. Macam I think we don't get that early education that arts is also important. So macam kita macam menganaktirikan all the arts industry and fields.
Macam you menganaktirikan your music.
Your songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tapi don't bring me into this.
Okay. You're not part of the system. You're not part of the system.
But yeah, macam I think early education is very important, and I hope that we open that up to macam teaching kids to macam ajak. I don't know if you want to go to the extent of ajak budak-budak pergi gig, but that kind of like is kind of cool, right? Macam ajak budak-budak tengok teater and pergi art
macam
gallery.
Macam dulu lah pergi tengok wayang kulit ke benda kan.
It's actually see Gen Z is agreeing.
Yeah. Look at her face.
Represent Gen Z represent.
It's like approved.
Gen Z represent.
Oh.
I should bring you to
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Alah sedihnya.
Jangan nangis. Tisu. Producer, tisu. Bagi dia tisu dah.
So yeah, I think that's mainly my hope.
Yeah, so Taka, as you can see, we need representation.
Wah, gitu.
We need to see women doing this in the art industry, music, films, all the paintings, galleries. Damn. Have you ever been involved in art per se, like drawing, or would you say you're a creative person in the area?
I think I'm more like I dabble in is that what you call visual arts? Macam I think I dabble more in visual arts. Macam I remember having a phase of macam buying small canvases macam 3 cm 3 ke 5 and just like drawing, just like painting on it with acrylic, and then macam I do that every day. I had a phase and I managed to like get like 36 paintings done. Wow. So dia macam combine jadi macam that's actually kind of cute. I have like all these.
And then you combine it, become a bigger masterpiece.
It doesn't
connect.
It's just macam like kecil-kecil, and all of them are different styles.
Yeah.
Just saja lah macam what can I do with this, and I just decided to do it because macam rasa nak buat kan.
Do you hang it on the wall?
No, it's actually on small easels.
Ooh.
So dia macam a mini gallery lah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should sign it. If you sign it and then sell it.
Huyo. Macam gitu. Nak beli tak? Macam okay, for you guys, special price 5,000 per piece.
Oh, invoice keluarkan. Dah.
Keluarkan
invoice, no problem.
Keluarkan je. Yeah, she's our financial manager, so anything talk to her.
Ha.
Boss? Boss.
You're doing your visual art journey yourself. Tak nak jual. Collab.
I still baby, okay?
No.
What do you do?
Mine is more of like digital art.
Oh,
so
nice.
I do more of like human drawings into lah.
Oh,
Anime
lagi
kan?
terror.
It's not really close to anime tapi dia macam cute vibe juga ah.
Yeah.
Kawaii.
Oh, I thought cubism ke apa. Macam dia buat Picasso tu.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's my digit.
Pakai apa? Procreate ke?
I guna GIMP, GIMP.
Oh,
2.0.
GIMP.
GIMP with the drawing tablet macam tu.
She has
nice,
her own
nice.
tablet. Yeah.
Tablet apa? Syam, tiba soal jawab kan?
Apa?
Lupa.
Gaumon. So mine is Gaumon. Gaumon, GAOMON. Ciplak version of Wacom.
Oh, is it nice? Is it like macam
The tablet is nice tapi macam pen dia tebal sangat. Macam Wacom punya it's thinner so your grip is better. But for Gaumon it's fat so I'm still trying to like adjust myself to drawing. Kalau tak I guna mouse je, geram kan guna mouse.
Uish, mouse kali susah ke?
Not really. I kind of got used to mouse already.
Power doh orang yang boleh pakai mouse
Dia
sebenarnya.
self-taught tau semua ni.
Uish.
YouTube. I tengok YouTube.
Bagus.
YouTube and Twitch. I got Sifu at Twitch also.
Honestly, YouTube is like the new university.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have University of YouTube.
Yeah.
Did you know that Google actually does have
College? Like
bukan? Wait.
Training
Google,
center, bukan?
Was it training center?
Training course or something like that. I remember they had.
Macam even tak ada degree pun you can join this thing and work
Yeah.
at Google or something like that lah.
Okay,
Ada
I
kan?
tak sure. Tapi I tahu dia orang macam ada courses or something like that.
Was it
I'm not
a
sure.
course? Was it a course kan? Google course.
Google
Just
Course. Yeah.
Because dia tahu macam orang belajar pakai YouTube pun.
And then dapat certificate. Lepas tu bila
and then dapat certificate, yeah.
pergi interview Google Course.
Google.
Google certified.
Yeah.
Damn.
Google.
certified.
Because we end up, if anything, if we go to college pun, kita pakai Google ke? You
Yeah,
know? To do research.
True.
So
Yang paling
macam,
busuk-busuk pun Wikipedia kan.
which we still use Google to find.
Yep.
Google is our savior. Okay, so you've talked about the music industry and how your vision towards having more female representation. For those Gen Z out there, kesian dia tak pernah pergi gig lagi kan.
Kita pergi
Dua
gig.
tahun tu.
Can you imagine like all the things? I think I saw a TikTok video where the things that we take from Gen Z is a lot. Like you guys are studying university tapi study online, and they don't have that experience.
Ya tu.
So that's why all the shit. It's like their coping mechanism. So we understand. We don't judge you.
We learn a lot from Gen Z.
You know, we actually learn a lot. All this.
We respect you.
Yeah, we stand. Dia bangun selut. Okay, so I think last year I did mention during your masa you punya live at class where I said that tenangkanlah buntut buntut anda kan. It is actually one of the songs that whenever I'm like down or anything and I listen to it, every time I will feel like tenang, like literally like no panic or anxiety anymore and whatnot. So how was your own experience in producing this music, making this music as your own self-discovery journey?
I think it has always been within me to do something related to music. Macam when I was small, I wanted to macam play in an instrument. Tapi macam dekat rumah tak ada piano, like we don't have any instruments at home. And my mother is very much macam don't focus on the extracurricular activities, you have to focus on your studies kind of thing, kind of person. So macam I don't have that opportunity lah, macam tak ada pergi piano lessons ke apa, tak ada. So all the musicality terpendam all those years of schooling, dia membuat-buat, lepas tu habis SPM terus macam dia pecah in a way. So because it's like macam you imagine like to me lah, it's what I would say. I wouldn't call music my passion. I feel like music is like my routine. It's something like macam people eat, people sleep, people shower. I do music. Macam it's part of my routine, and if I don't do it, I will suffer mentally.
Sort of like your outlet lah.
Yeah, it's my outlet. Macam orang pergi berak, I poop music. In a way lah, something like that lah. So macam when I had a phase of not being able to write music, especially last year, it was actually tough for me because that was when I also found out that I had bipolar, and then I just like macam decided to rest, but also at the same time not being able to make music. So dia macam sembelit lah. And it's
it's like stuck.
Yeah, but it's true. It's stuck in there.
Yeah.
So macam this year, so I decided, okay, let's eat more sayur. Not even healthy stuff. I just like macam mentally eat more sayur so that you can let go of these things better.
So when was the release? Pun intended.
Release of the songs or
Dia pun dah tak tahu release of apa.
referring to what are you referring to?
So you cakap you punya sembelit. So when was the release after?
I think it was around February. So I don't know what happened during February, but I think I just decided macam I think the macam the period of macam coping with this thing macam okay, this has gone long enough. I think I need to sort of like push myself to do something.
Yeah.
Sebab I literally just like sit at home for like 3 months doing nothing, just like bangun tidur kan. And my husband was like very supportive of me, and he's like macam, even though I feel guilty and I would cry to him, I'm sorry, I'm not doing anything. No, it's okay, you need to rest. He's very supportive lah, and that really helps. And because of his support, macam I get to do what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Gitu.
Yeah. Man, I mean, like even discovering, I think the first step is always knowing that you need help.
Yeah.
I think which is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
What made you, I mean, of course, the support from your husband and your loved ones around you, but I think it's always about when you first notice that you need the help, it's always come from within, kan? But was your process of understanding more about yourself and knowing that I actually need help lah, like does it come like naturally within you, or is there actually like an external force that make you realize that?
There was a time last year when I was crying for every day for 3 weeks straight, and it's like macam penat ni setiap hari. And then I told my husband, if I'm still crying tomorrow or next week, I think we need to go see a psychiatrist lah. And then macam he was actually planning to go anyway because he has depression. So macam at least ada teman lah kan, ada macam kawan, tak pergi seorang-seorang.
He went first?
No, we went together.
Okay.
So we get diagnosed together, not with the same doctor, different doctors.
Yeah.
So you get diagnosed with mild depression, I get diagnosed with bipolar type 2, and once I knew what it was, I feel like macam it makes sense, everything makes sense now.
And then you can help yourself better.
Yeah, because you identify the problem, because you thought that macam it's all in your head, because we were all told that benda ni semua dalam kepala je macam. It's people don't take mental health seriously, and which I don't blame them because we were taught that way. So macam dia turun-temurun. So it's my step of like getting out of that vicious cycle, and trying to just be open with it, with myself mainly.
But I think the stigma is still there, and it's
definitely
but it's very like encouraging and inspiring to see how you use your platform to destigmatize it. But then like how was the reaction to it, do you have all the naysayers still like saying asal macam loud sangat cakap pasal benda ni, because there's still stigma, or your followers are more towards like encouraging and
I think because they know they follow me.
Silakan.
I think because they know what I do, and they follow me for what I do, and they know what I talk about. So macam they expect. Macam imagine if you now were to talk about mental health, Macam she has bipolar and macam people will be like, I think people will still support her. Okay, not Yuna lah. I think I don't know, Datuk Siti ke apa kan. They probably say macam, oh Datuk Siti
like national treasure.
Tok T kena ni je, kena apa, dekatkan diri dengan Tuhan macam
doa
tu.
lebih sikit.
Doa lebih sikit. So it's the kind of crowd that I attract, that they respect like how I deal with it and how I'm open with about it. And in fact macam a lot of people were sharing me their stories, macam their stories with psychiatrists, that their journeys that made me want to go. Because at first I was like macam, do I want to go? Do I want to know the things that I don't want to know? Macam kan kita takut macam, what if I find out that it's like the worst thing possible?
Yeah.
And yeah, those people definitely encouraged me to go. So macam instead of just like keeping it to myself, might as well share their stories as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then obviously since you've been very open about it, your family knows.
Yes.
Yeah. Has they been supportive?
They have. I think they also macam got to a point where macam of course dulu if I were to tell them like 10 years ago, they're gonna feel like macam, no, you just have to, baca Quran. Actually, my mother actually did that when she found out. You just have to, dekatkan diri dengan Tuhan lebih apa semua tu. Yes, ma, but and then I shared like this, I think this article from this lady. She's like very pious, and she has a family, but macam dia macam all the alim things that people do lah. Macam baca Quran hari-hari and then pakai purdah apa semua tu, but she still experience mental health issues. So macam it's not about pendekatan diri dengan your faith or your God. It's really about macam it's really the chemical imbalance in your brain. You were born that way, and you're wired that way.
And sometimes you just need a dose of serotonin.
Yes. So I think my family member also has some sort of mental illness, but the way they cope it is because they grew up in a society where that was not accepted. So they just like macam suppress that.
Yeah. Because I think the fact that you see one person going through that journey and somehow you can relate to it and you can say that, oh, like if she's going through it, like why should I be scared? Like why should I not like seek professional help or something else? And I know Nabila, you've been vocal as well on your Instagram, sharing about but sharing about your own mental health journey. Like how do you see this past, like the conversation behind it? Like when you share it, do you get people supporting you or asking more questions?
Yeah. I do get that a lot actually from my friends yang follow I. In fact, like school friends that I've never kept in touch tapi tiba-tiba ada dalam Instagram kan. And then they contacted me and say, kita pun ada, like I also have it and I didn't know you have it. So it initially when I first opened up about my depression, college mates, schoolmates reached out to me and it was something new sebab I thought I was alone. Macam the rest, when I look at their Instagram, it's always like the good stuff. Every time we look at Instagram, semua orang post the good stuff kan. So we are at that, we kind of like look at them like, diorang ni kenapa hidup diorang bagus sangat, tapi hidup kita macam asyik down and everything. So when they open up and say like, oh actually I used to take the pills when I was in college ke apa kan. I was like, I didn't know this thing happened to you. Then now it's like my circle in Instagram pun dah makin vocal and share more about their challenges. And recently another friend from uni spoke to me and she opened up. She told me this her first time opening up about her insecurities and about being like overthinking and then she doesn't know whether she has any mental health issues ke apa kan. In which I cakap, I'm not the pro, but you have to seek help. Kalau you rasa you need help, you feel you need to like diagnose yourself, just go for it, because we are at that phase where we are leaving that stigma behind already.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like the number of people that we can save just by sharing our own stories?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That I think that's also macam why I want to share my story, is because my story is important. No.
Hashtag her story.
We should do a
Because macam I actually have bukan acquaintance, someone that I know and respect in the scene who took his own life. And macam people didn't know, even his close friends didn't know that he was going to do that. So macam, and my husband suffers from depression and he has suicidal thoughts and I also have suicidal thoughts. And you know, I want to make sure that everyone that I know, where am I going with this? I don't know. But basically macam people to know that don't keep it to yourself, because if you keep it to yourself, then you're gonna end up alone. With like macam that friend who committed. Who KM, who what's the I want to like censor myself, but I don't know like.
Boleh kita. It's okay we get it.
Commit.
Yeah. Kita orang akan censor.
Okay.
Anti-climax that's how you can say.
No, because on TikTok, because I've been on TikTok a lot, and you know, and seeing like people macam
eja pun
dia eja macam
EGG if sexual dia
eja macam special ejaan, which is I think macam that is actually very helpful for people to not trigger people. And the
and
older
also just putting the TW disclaimer.
The trigger warning is actually helpful. And you know, the older generation are going to say macam, sensitifnya generation sekarang. Macam, I think, you know, if you are a victim, you would know how triggering those things, even the tiniest things are.
Yeah, very. And then after your you know, your journey in mental health, and you're currently in this healing you know, healing lane as well. Would you say it has helped you also in terms of making more music, or it's more towards music are helping you as well in this journey?
I think it's symbiotic. Gitu. Wah, lama tak pakai kata tu kan?
Symbiotic.
It's a symbiotic relationship between those two. I have to make music to release things, to organize my thoughts, and I have to organize my thoughts to make music. Because I know if it's in a mess, I would end up just like, this is so tiring, I don't want to do music. Because usually when before pre-diagnosed era gitu, I would just make music terus buat without thinking twice. Sebab tu lah lagu-lagu yang pasal PKP tu keluar. Macam lagu pasal Doraemon lah apa semua tu kan keluar without thinking macam of the consequences. Yo, what if you get, you know, frisked by a cop and then get thrown to lockup? Macam, nope, I don't think about that. I finish the song first and then macam lah. Bahaya sebenarnya ni. Baru proses. And especially when my brother macam sometimes see the video and then macam say macam, I think you should be careful. Macam, you should be careful, but also it's already out there.
And what can we do? Anak aku dah terlepas.
So after like I got diagnosed and I got the meds, that's when macam I think the meds normalizes the brain chemicals, and so it makes me think 2-3 times macam, should I do this? Should I not do this? I think there a lot of hesitation from my end, because risk assessment assessment. Because that's what normal people do apparently, and abnormal people like me would just macam langgar je, kita buat je semua ni.
Like the manic episode.
Yes, manic episode, kita buat je semua.
Langgar. But do you see that more as a positive note, or like, you know, because what's your thinking about that, like main lepas je semua is actually better, or because, you know, it's true, it's raw, or it's more towards, no, we need to analyze it and then perhaps we can make it more neutral?
I think after 10 years of doing macam lepas tu, it's comforting for me, because I don't have an image to fall back on, or that in itself is my image.
Yeah, because it is very on brand of you.
Macam imagine if I were like some the first person that comes to mind is Diane Trisha. Macam Diane Trisha contoh lah, she's like a poster girl of macam being glamorous and, you know, girl next door, very chic apa semua tu kan. And then tiba dia keluar a post about the depression ke macam it's off brand lah for her. Walaupun dia macam adalah she does share her struggles, but it's not on her Instagram feed because it doesn't fit the aesthetic gitu.
As well her audience
macam tu.
maybe.
So then when you okay, that's interesting because so meaning that when you share, but would you how to say like, is it expected
Of me or of her?
yeah, of you
To
when you share about your mental health journey?
it's not expected. I don't comply to what people want of me. But I don't comply to what people want of me. I just do macam aku rasa kena buat macam ni, aku buat lah.
You're very authentic lah.
Cik gitu.
Very original. There's only one Taka.
There's also only one of each of you. Dur.
Okay, we're actually nearing our ending time.
Alah, we extend lagi 3 episode.
3 episode, producer boleh ke? Tengah rancak Okay, so what would you say to people out there, boys and girls, men and women, who might be experiencing this but may think that they're going through it alone, but we know they're not, but like, you know, if you can share any words of advice or encouragement, what would you say? Or even to your past self, like if you meet her again, like what would you say to her?
I would say to her, I think what I would say to people out there is, if you have a friend who you trust, do tell them. If they, because I there has been stories where macam people share their struggles with their close ones, and then the close ones also like they brush it off. So macam I don't know if I want to encourage that, because that's gonna be a bit disappoint. It's a disappointment to have macam someone that you trust to not believe in you and your struggles. So if you can seek help, go seek help. If you're struggling alone, I think sharing your story online might help, because you might find other people, you might find strangers that you can make friends with. Because macam again, I've heard stories of people whose families and friends don't believe in their mental issues. So macam I guess your best option can be like a stranger, like an online friend, not like a creepy stranger. I'm not encouraging that. I'm encouraging.
But talking more like Taka. Go to her DM.
Yes, you can legit go to my DM and just like share your stories, because you're not in this alone. You're not in this alone, my friends. Yeah, but you're not in this alone. Whatever you're struggling to, someone else is also have some degree of struggle, and having something in common with another person, I think that helps in going through the hardship. Macam tu. Wah. This episode very somber. After all the laughing,
unlike the previous one.
Last week banyak gelak.
Habis gelak, kota gelak dah habis.
Well, for mine is that because since we are all leaving that stigma behind, so that means it shows that you're not alone actually. Yeah, and even though I do agree with Taka when you like, whether to share with people you trust, because there are cases where people that you trust turn out to be the ones who like put you down instead. Yeah, so for me,
that's the worst one.
Yeah, that's the worst one, and that really, it happened to me before, so I didn't really like it.
It hurts.
It hurts a lot. So, but so you can actually opt for online. Online is something that maybe someone has to be cautious, because like a person like me will be very sensitive. And I do get anxiety if I post something about my depression or anxiety. So what I did was actually joining communities. Sebab sekarang kita ada communities yang macam, even on Facebook there are like the depression groups and all this stuff where semua orang akan share pasal their struggles. And then another thing is I actually look up to artists who have similar cases like me, like depression ke apa, and that can actually help to sort of like give me more information. Sebab artis ni diorang berani untuk share about their stuff, and then it made me realize that orang yang lagi tinggi daripada I pun boleh face the same thing as me. That means it's actually normal.
They're humans too.
Yeah, they're humans, exactly.
They're not higher, no.
Exactly,
no.
but it shows like at this generation, we are always comparing kejayaan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
like we get compared with other people who are more successful and everything. So you can imagine like a person who's successful doesn't mean that he doesn't face any battles. He actually faced a lot of battles. So that's what I learned, and I just listen to them, and then makin lama I dengar makin berani I nak cakap, like voice out or find the people that I can trust. Yeah.
When you hear stories of people sharing their voice, you find your own voice.
Gitu. I think if I mind chipping in before we wrap this up, Cik, gitu. After like hours and hours on TikTok every day, we can relate. We can relate, and being on the alternate outside of TikTok. The younger generation, Gen Z.
Yeah.
Gen Z, we're talking about you.
Dia tengah pay attention.
Kita macam nak compare millennial dengan Gen Z. No, it's not comparison. It's zillennials. It's very much like macam I admire how they cope with macam their struggles. Macam they make fun of it.
Yeah.
They make TikToks out of it.
Dark humor,
yeah. But that's also macam it makes you laugh. Macam yes, you have all this, sufferings, but also hey, I have that too. Benda macam tu tau.
Macam inject positive vibe lah.
Yeah, macam vibes only.
Yeah.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes.
Yeah, purr.
you have to do it with the hand.
And a purr. So it's very admirable to see like what they've done, because I know macam when it comes to this generational transitions, like zaman mak opak kita, they had to suppress it, and then
because they had to survive.
They had to survive, and then Gen X macam they teach their children not to do that, I think. And then millennials millennials yang macam we start voicing up,
but the Gen Z amplify it.
The Gen Z amplify and then make jokes about it.
Yeah, making it into a trend.
Making it into a trend.
Yeah, which is good though.
So it's cool to have depression. No, it's not. But yeah, they the way they take it lightly and how they share it macam with everyone macam very easily, that sort of like makes the world a better place.
And that in itself is the community.
Yeah.
So find a Gen Z.
Find a Gen Z.
Gen Z?
Yeah. Get a Gen Z to adopt you.
Wait. I thought it's like the other way around. No. Like we adopt the Gen Z, put it in the pocket.
They adopt us.
Gen Z, adopt me.
And teach us how to be humans.
We need, just how we need like a sugar daddy. They can be like our mental sugar.
Mental sugar. Mental child. A sugar child mental. I don't know.
Okay, so we're coming to the closing, the end of the podcast. Taka has been so great.
Thank you.
Plug lah sikit. What have you been doing?
So I released a original soundtrack EP of sort last week.
Ooh.
It's called Mentega Terbang original soundtrack. It's basically a soundtrack for Mentega Terbang.
How many songs?
4 songs. Wow. Go check them out on Spotify. They're going to be on other platforms sooner or later. Yang paling cepat Spotify lah. Serta dia.
Tarikh keluar?
Tarikh yang dia keluar minggu lepas. Jumaat. Jumaat minggu lepas. Lupa ke?
Minggu lepas kan? Lupa dah.
Kan kita pakai baju sama minggu lepas.
Yelah, itulah.
Satu minggu sleep over terus lupa kan.
Lupa dah KO dah. Anything else?
I think that's it. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. I know there are a lot of stories going on in the news and in the Twitterverse and in the internets. Instagram, whatever. Do choose, I know it's important to care about all of them, but you have to take care of yourself first, know your limits. You can macam neglect some things that you cannot take because you have to take care of yourself first. Gitu.
Choose your fight.
Choose your fight, gitu.
But don't fight everything.
Don't fight everything.
Don't drown. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Taka.
you for having me.
Thank you to Taka. Thank you to Nabila, our colorful commentator. So guys, if you like this episode, please put it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, all those things. And if you want to meet any other, people yang you kenal ke, drop the tag. We'll invite them. Cakap Datuk Siti. Kalau nak Datuk Siti, korang kena make it viral lah. Gitu. So, okay. Tune in to our next episode. And I guess that's all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Apa kita cakap in Japanese macam mana?
Matane.
Gambatte ne. Kioskete ne.
Otsukaresama deshita.
Toshiba Yamaha.
How was the episode? If you guys like it, subscribe and like and comment to Night Watch Media.